Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is going to be my eyeshadow palette review for October. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be an overview of the new to me eyeshadow palettes that I tried for the first time this October. There are 5 of them in total. Some of them are by indie brands. I also have a more luxurious purchase in here. And today I thought I could give you all the information about how I feel about these and give you all the swatches and the looks that I did as well as some close-up pictures so that you have all the information in one video. So this is the little stack of palettes that I tried, and I say little, but quite a few of these had quite a lot of pans. So I definitely had to do multiple looks with these to try out every single pan that is here. I do think that I lost some pictures along the way, or maybe I just forgot to take them. So I hope I still have all the looks I did with these, but it could be that I'm missing some here and there. So most of these palettes I did pay for with my own money, but 2 of these were sent to me in PR by MONOLITH. They are an EU-based company that sells US-based indie brands, or like just indie brands from outside of Europe, and it makes it a lot easier to shop from. 2 of the palettes that I have here from MONOLITH are things I did buy with my own money over the summertime, and then they sent me 2 new palettes over the summertime as well. So let me tell you all about these and just let's get stuck in, because I had a very, very successful eyeshadow month for sure. First up, we have this little guy. This is the Dior Backstage Smoky Essentials palette, and oh, I thought it was upside down, but it's actually not. Here is what that looks like. And this Smoky Essentials palette was on my wish list ever since I tried their Silver Essentials eyeshadow palette last year. So last year for Christmas, there was a limited edition 9-pan in the same Backstage range, and I fell head over heels in love with that palette. Thought it was some amazing quality. It is a bit more sheer buildable than with most of the indie brands I will be featuring here. So this one is definitely in a league of its own, because this is only a 9-pan in these retail for like 63 euros, which is quite a bit of money. But because I like the Silver Essentials one so much, I decided to put my money towards one from the regular range to see if the quality was as good. And this is one that a lot of people recommended that they think I might like, and they were absolutely right. This looks a lot warmer toned in the pan, I find, than what it looked like on my lids. It's far more neutral, but I think that this is a great, more unique take on a smoky eye palette, because a lot of smoky palettes tend to do lots of grays and blacks, and while you do get a black and a gray in here, you also get these rosewood kind of shades. That's the only way I can describe it. So it's got a little bit of pinkiness to it, and that's one of the things I loved. My least favorite shade was this goldy tone, but everything else in here works really well. You can keep this very light and neutral if you stick to like the first 5 shades, but if you blend in any of the bottom shades or that darker gray, you will get a much more impactful eye look. I remember doing 2 looks with this, but I think I may have lost some of the pictures from one of the looks. So I did one that was a little bit lighter and then one that was a little bit smokier. And I definitely enjoyed this. It's the same quality that I remember the Silver Essentials to have. So if you missed out on that one and you're looking to try one of the Backstage palettes from Dior, then I think this may be a good one, because where a lot of the Backstage palette that they released earlier on had a cream in the top row. That's one of the reasons why I didn't buy it, because I dislike having a cream next to powders because it goes dirty so quickly. Plus that cream was really, really yellow. So that's why no matter the palette it was in, it was always this like weird yellowy shade, even in the Cool Tone palette, which made me go like, And this was one of the first ones where they made it part of their permanent line, where it was just 9 shades of eyeshadow. And that was far more up my street. So for me, this little Dior Smoky Essentials palette was a great one. These are great for travel. You can very easily carry these around with you, and I love this formula. I really enjoy the Dior Backstage line in general. So if you were looking into Dior, maybe give this one a try if you missed out on the other one, because I do think this has a lot of great things to offer. Just don't expect it to be a cool tone smoky eye that you're going to get. It's definitely, it has some warmth to it, but it's definitely not as warm as a true warm tone palette. I feel it's a good smack in the middle neutral one. And then we first get to the monolith stuff that I bought myself, and one of those things is the Cradled in Ice from Fantasy Cosmetica. And Fantasy Cosmetica is one of my favorite indie brands. That new Halloween release, it's already on Monolith. It already dropped, and I'm very much tempted. I'm so tempted to buy that, but I haven't even tried my autumn palette that I got from them, so I need to pace myself. I know it's limited edition, but I hope it's going to stay on Monolith for a little while to come, because I am also traveling as you're watching this, so I wanted to make sure I spend my budget in a smart way, and I have plenty of eyeshadow palettes, as you'll see in my upcoming haul. But here is what the Cradled in Ice looks like. I definitely think that this palette, when I first saw it online, I was like, ooh, I love the shimmers, but I'm not exactly sure about these two shades. This is because of the blue background, it looks very peachy in the pan, I find. So here we actually have a palette that looks warmer toned than it actually is. On me, this pulled very cool neutral. We do get quite a lot of blues in here, so if you don't like blue mattes, maybe stay away from this one. But I loved playing with this. We only have 5 shimmers though. Just 5 shimmers, which we all know I prefer a shimmer over a matte, but we do get really beautiful shimmers, as is usually the case with Fantasy Cosmetica. I love their matte and their shimmer formula. Their shimmer formula always has something special and unique to offer. There's always that little oomph, that little bit of extra sparkle, and yet it stays on my lids and I have no issues with fallout or anything like that. And I felt great wearing the looks I did with it. I split the palette into 2 parts. I sort of focused on this like left side of the palette, and then I did a look more so focused on the right side of the palette. And I felt that worked really well for me. It is definitely a palette I would like to go back to at some point. As I already said, I love myself some Fantasy Cosmetica, and this was a great release from the brand, and I really enjoy my purchase. And then next up, also released in the summertime, and that's when I also bought it. I think I bought this together with the Cradled in Ice. I think I put them in the same order, and this is by Blend Bunny, and this is the Longing palette. And this is the first time that Blend Bunny has done a true cool toned eyeshadow palette. It's still got a little bit of color, but it definitely also has a more muted color story, which is what I like. You can already see my point of critique with this not having enough mattes. Not enough shimmers, that's what I was supposed to say. I would very much enjoy Blend Bunny so much more if instead of just 1 shimmer per row, we would get 2 shimmers per row. Then it would have been perfect for me, but overall this was a very enjoyable palette to use. I did 3 different looks with this. I did a look using these shades together. I did 4 looks. I did a look with sort of like these ones here, and then I did a look with the grays, and I did a look with these purpley tones towards the end. Very pretty, really easy to use. Blend Bunny mattes are some of the best on the market. So if you love mattes, then this palette is going to take your breath away. Where I struggled with some of my other Blend Bunny palettes, that some of the more mid-tone looking shades pulled quite dark. That was definitely an issue with some of these shades here, but I was able to make it work just fine just using a light hand. Nothing in here blends together weirdly or it doesn't function. Like, it has a really good color story. It's definitely more cool toned, and I think now that I own this, I can be very comfortable in letting go my Dollhouse palette that I still have by them. That one was always a bit disappointing to me because it was sort of like marketed as a cool tone palette, but on me it didn't look very cool toned, and that's why I'm really happy that I now own this one, because this is exactly what I wanted from Blend Bunny. So I'm very happy that I was able to snatch this one up thanks to Monolith, and this is some amazing quality. And then we get to the 2 palettes that Monolith has sent to me, and by the time you're watching this video, my code will be active again, because they did ask me to be an affiliate with them, and so they send me these palettes over the summertime, and I have a code which is _Micah_5, and it gets you 5% off your entire order. It's always in the description box, including a link to the website, so if you want to look any of these palettes up, then you can. But yeah, they sent me 2 palettes, which is one that I was super excited that I was receiving it, because I was like, yes, I would have purchased that with my own money. and one that I wasn't going to get because I mentioned the Ensley Rain Cosmic Dreamer in one of my Will I Buy It videos, like new makeup releases. And I was like, I'm not sure about it. But now that I've used it, I'm like, I'm so glad I got to try that palette. So both of these were super successful for me. So let me get stuck into the Glaminatrix Barely Basics first up. So Glaminatrix has a couple of months, like a year ago, they switched to more of a dime-sized pan for all of their eyeshadow releases. And here is what the palette looks like. I think this way you can see it a little bit more full screen and better. Essentially, it is 4 rows of slightly different, very fall-esque, neutrally looks, but that still have a touch of color to them. Where the Blend Bunny is that in like a cool tone vibe, I feel this has a warmer undertone overall. We get some perfect neutrals, we get some green tones, we get some warm tones, and we have these mauvey purpley things towards the end. Really, really pretty, and here is what I would love Blend Bunny to do in the future. Because every row has 3 mattes and 2 shimmers. You get a more medium shimmer that can be perfect for all over the lid, and then every row comes with what looks like a white, but it's actually a more multi-chrome shifty shade, which is really pretty in the inner corner, or if you want to accentuate any part of your eye look. So for me, this was excellent. I fell in love hard. And of course, I love trying out every single pen in an eyeshadow. So yes, I did do 4 looks with these so that every single eyeshadow in this palette had its moment to shine. Because we had to make it happen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I love this. And this row of these mid-tone shimmers, there's something else. There's something else. A lot of these also have a shift, but I feel they're less noticeable shift-wise compared to the white ones at the top. Those have a stronger shifting element. They go on clear, and then you just see that shift of color, which is what I enjoy. The other ones are just incredibly high shine shimmer, and they look sparkly on the lid, but they are smooth going on. So if you're someone who struggles with glitter falling down your eyelids, maybe give this a whirl, because these shimmers have the look of a glitter on the lids, but they don't feel like glitters. They don't perform like glitters. They stay put, they don't crease, yet they feel really rich and creamy, and they go on to absolute perfection, and they still pick up really, really easily with a brush as well. And then I'm like, what's more to love? The mattes have a great formula. The shimmers are great. I felt amazing every single time I used one of these eyeshadows. And a lot of you were also giving me compliments when I was wearing one of the looks that I did with this. It was this greeny toned one when I used the greens in this palette, and a lot of people loved it when I was filming some videos when I sat down and first tried this one out. So this is an excellent palette for sure, and I'm really, really happy that Monolith sent it to me. And then we have the Cosmic Dreamer. And as I already mentioned, I did not expect to love this. I said yes to this because I just felt honored that Monolith had picked me to be someone they wanted to work with. And I was like, you know what? I'll try it. I'll try it. And this is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, sometimes online images just don't tell you the entire story. And I feel that that is definitely the case with the Cosmic Dreamer from Ensley Rain. I don't love the image on the front. I just don't like the packaging. And I'm a bit of a magpie, so if the packaging is great, I tend to already look at a palette more closely, going like, ooh, do I like you, yes or no? But then I got it home after they sent it to me, and I was like, oh, but that is a color story we can get down with. Especially these 3 rows in the middle. They are this is a grungy, colorful eyeshadow palette. That's the only way to describe it. You get some brighter pops with this bright pink and the bright blue, but if you leave those out, you can see how muted and murky most of these shades are. And what this palette does exceptionally well is moody, murky shimmers. Because I think every row has 2 shimmers. So again, like I said with the Blend Bunny, I wish they did an extra row of shimmers. And here we get 5 pans in every row, and 2 of those pans are shimmer. And what's so genius about this palette, I think I started doing a look with this one first, and then I did a look with these, and I did a look with these ones. And then I still had the pinks and the blues left, and I kind of threw them together. So I think I did 4 different looks with this palette as well. But you cannot only use it like this, you could also use it like this. This is exceptionally well laid out. Like, this is of course going to be super dark and smoky, but because you get enough shimmers and because all the colors can be mixed and matched, everything in here is a look. Everything works together. You can do something super neutrally if you stick more to this side of the palette. You can go super deep, dark and grungy. You can have fun with color, and most of these shimmers are flippy. Like, they have some sort of flip. And a lot of people were also asking me what was on my eyes when I had been playing with this palette when I filmed with it earlier and I was wearing this one. And a lot of people wanted a tutorial. You know, all I do with this, like for instance, that green tone thing in the middle, this, all I do, this in the crease, this all over the lid, this as liner, this on the lower lash line together with a bit of this, and I stick that in the inner corner. It's nothing. I do very little work, and yet people want to know how I did my eyeshadow whenever I wear this. And it's because it's the eyeshadow that does all the work for me. I literally just whack something in my crease like I did today. I'm wearing a multichrome. I did my little Subculture with a multichrome moment today, and all I did was put a matte in the crease. I put the multichrome all over my lid. I added a bit of liner just with an eyeshadow. I stuck a darker shade on the bottom lash line, put another multichrome on the inner corner, and stuck another multichrome in the inner corner, and you're done. Like, if you have 5 shades and one of them has a flip, everybody is going to think like you've done the most work with your eyeshadow, and all you've done is applied a duochrome shimmer or a multichrome shimmer. So please don't ask me how I did this, because it's literally like just blending out the crease and then just sticking a shimmer on top. That's all I did. That's all I did. But if you have really good eyeshadow like this, and it has those flips, it looks like you've done the most and you really haven't done that much. Downside with this, as with some of the other Ensley Rain palettes that I've tried, these do crease on me. They are very emollient, and on my pretty deep set lids, these will crease after a full day of wear. Nothing that can be fixed though. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't rain down my face. Nothing of that sort of thing happens, but I can definitely see it like bunching up in my crease after a full day of wear. I've had experience like that with all of my Ensley Rain shadows, so I definitely think that that's the case with this one as well. So be that as it may for you, I definitely didn't mind it. It still looked okay at the end of the day. It wasn't like super duper annoying or something like that. So that's it. That's everything I wanted to share with you in today's review. Let me know in a comment down below what is the last eyeshadow palette that you tried. I will definitely be back with another palette review video in November, and I'll be showing you on Saturday what eyeshadow palettes I will be featuring in the new month, because I have a lot of exciting things that are in. So let me show you that in my upcoming haul, and then we'll see each other again in November for a new eyeshadow palette review. But I do lots of other content with eyeshadow palettes as well, so if you want to see more, then there's definitely more of that as well. So stay tuned. I hope to see you in my next one, and I hope you have a really, really great day. Bye-bye.